Begin tonight with a major bust in the city of Kingsville. Several agencies took part in a search warrant at a home there this afternoon.
The warrant reportedly turned up evidence of money laundering, illegal gambling, and the raid was said to be one of several carried out today across Kleberg and Nueces counties. Our Michelle Pedraza joins us live in Kingsville tonight with the latest on this top story. Michelle.
Well, Joe McKenzie, officials are still inside the home here on 8th and Johnston in Kingsville. Officials with the Kleberg County Sheriff's Office tell me that this search has to do with an ongoing investigation involving money laundering and 8-liners. They, along with Border Patrol and the South Texas Specialized Crime and Narcotics Task Force, helped in the search here. Multiple items were taken out of the home, including a large amount of money. A man and a woman were both sitting outside the home during the search. A neighbor I spoke to say they have lived here on this street for about 3 years.
It's usually a big U-Haul van that they have parked out here, and it'll sit out here for a couple of days, and then it'll disappear, and a couple of days later it'll be sitting out here again, and that's the only thing I've seen. Other than that, it's been pretty quiet around here.
The couple was separated and detained by officials. As of right now, we do not know if there are any charges, but of course, stay with 3 News for the latest developments. For now, live in Kingsville, Michelle Pedraza, 3 News.
All right, thank you, Michelle.